my channel. I am here today to talk to you about my first trimester of pregnancy. I thought I'd be one of these people that would record every single week with an update for you, but to be honest with you, it all merges into one. What I can say is that it's the longest 12 weeks of your whole entire life. So when you find out you're pregnant, you actually kind of find out when you're already 4 weeks, which you're like, oh my god, amazing, I'm already 4 weeks, like, this is gonna fly by. And then you suddenly realise, oh wow, I can't really, well, you can, but personally, I don't really want to tell many people before I was 12 weeks, because you have no idea if baby's okay, because you have zero way of knowing. The only ways of knowing really is if you're throwing up, which came to me in about week 8, but I'll go into more detail in a bit. But yeah, so it was just such a weird time, and every week would go by, I'd check my app to see what size baby was, and it went from like a poppy seed to like a blueberry, and I was like, wow, blueberry's so big. And it just, honestly, it was just the longest time ever. We did end up telling family when I was around 7 or 8 weeks, because I just couldn't keep the secret in anymore. I'm a big Prosecco drinker. When I say big, I mean I just like it on the weekend. And we had loads of birthdays in August, and I kept saying no to drinking because I was pretending that I was like hungover from the night before, or that I was driving because we live a bit of a distance from our families. None of them, well, as soon as we found out, like, we told them I was pregnant, they were like, oh, that makes sense, because we were a bit like, Lizzie always has at least one glass of Prosecco. But anyway, so we ended up telling them a bit before I was 12 weeks, and then we waited to tell the rest of our friends and family when after the 12-week scan. So let's go through my first trimester pregnancy symptoms. And when I say first trimester, that normally lasts, I think, if you go into your second trimester when you're about 13 weeks. I'm 17 weeks now, and I definitely think this is the first week that I felt better. So I'm going to say that my first trimester was from when I found out to when I was about 16 weeks. Okay, so the sickness. It's rough, guys. It's rough. I thought, I was like, I'm not going to get sick. I'm one of those like people, I'm sure I'll be fine. Especially when it said on my app like week 6 is when people get sick. I was like, oh, I've not been sick, this is great. Week 8 hit, and oh god, that's when the smells started. That's when, like, I'd open the fridge and I'd be like, huh. And to be honest with you, it took until about week 10 for me to really be sick, because I'm quite scared of sick. I don't really like being sick, so I was a bit like, oh, try and like hold it in. But actually, it's so much better once you are sick, because as soon as you're sick, you're fine. So I've kind of learned that in the mornings was when I felt really sicky, and it would be a smell of the dishwasher or the fridge. And if I opened either of them and didn't hold my nose really, really tight for like 5 minutes afterwards, I'd be sick. And it got to the point where it was probably every 3 days I was sick in the mornings. And the quicker I got out of the house, the better, because it kind of was like triggered with smells in this house. So I don't really know if that's a psychological thing or if it's normal. I don't really know. All I knew is that I was going to be sick, so I was like staying around the toilet. But to be honest with you, it happened a lot in the kitchen sink. Sorry if that's TMI, but I couldn't make it up the stairs because, yeah, when it hits, it hits. So yes, sickness is definitely my worst one. Didn't enjoy it. Everyone thinks it's a girl because apparently girls make you more sick, but my mum had 3 girls and said that she was far more sick than I've been when she was pregnant with Laura, my older sister. So I don't know. I'm still thinking 50-50, boy or girl. We're not going to find out, but yeah, 50-50. Another symptom was headaches. I had really bad headaches for about 2 weeks, and it would hit always mid-afternoon. So I'd be fine when I wake up. I'd have like, probably be sick, but I'd carry on for my day. I'd be out and about, and then 2 o'clock, and it hurts. It's like you just need to sit in a dark room, and the biggest advice I can give you is do that. Like, listen to your body. Don't make loads of plans and be out. I'd get home, get into bed, dark room. I used to just sit on the sofa, to be honest with you, and I'd put down the blinds and I'd just have like a really dark environment. So headaches, not fun, not enjoyable, but manageable. You can take paracetamol when you're pregnant, so I'd advise to take some just to help with it, and hopefully, I mean, it didn't always work, but sometimes it did. Another symptom, which has just reminded me as I went to go get the charger for this camera, is how out of breath you get. This one surprised me, and this happened quite early on, maybe like 6 or 7 weeks. I'd go up the stairs, and honestly, it's so, like, it's like you've just ran 100 metres, like sprint or something. It's crazy. And every time I take my washing up the stairs, I have to sit on the bed. I'm like, it's so bad. I'm like, wow, my fitness is gone. Yeah, out of breath. I don't know what it is. Apparently it's something to do with your ribs. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. So yes, out of breath. Another one, which this one doesn't bother me that much at all, but it's definitely happening. My boobs. Guys, I've got big boobs anyway. On a good day, you know, they're there. But the moment I found out I was pregnant, I swear to God, my shirts wouldn't do up anymore around my chest. My bras were getting tight, like I'd take them off and I'd get red lines around my rib cage. And they're so sore. So yeah, that's one of the first things I've noticed when I was pregnant, even before I was pregnant, was how sore my boobs were. So painful boobs, headaches, sickness, out of breath. Is there another one? Yes, this is the last one I'm going to talk to you about. Last Friday, so a week ago today, I woke up, I was in so much pain, my back, honestly, I thought I'd done something awful or something was wrong. So I woke up for a wee and I walked to the toilet and I was like, ow, 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 like this hurts. And then I went back to bed, and as soon as I lay down, it started hurting like big time. So it was like, as soon as I woke up really, I was like, ow, this really hurts. For the whole day, I had to have a hot water bottle attached to my back. I called the midwives because I was really panicking, to be honest with you, because obviously pregnancy during COVID times equals having nobody, like we don't have a midwife, basically. You're not allocated a midwife for so long. I don't know who to call. I don't know what phone numbers to call. They call you, so whenever a midwife tries to contact you, they call you on the hospital number. Now, have you ever tried calling a hospital back? It's a nightmare. You're literally on the phone having to be put through department after department. And then as soon as you get to the correct department, it's like, sorry, this department is busy. Please try again later. And you're like, oh, brilliant. So I've got to go through all that again. So anyway, I called them because I was like, is this okay? And they basically just told me that some women experience like quite extreme pain in their back because their ribs and like everything's like growing, basically expanding. And to be fair, last week Sam said to me, oh, it looks like you've had like a proper growth spurt, like within like a few days. So I kind of understood that my back was going, well, I understood when she said it was growing. I was like, yeah, that makes sense because I have got quite big. She did say because I've had it once that I'm likely to have it again. But yeah, gosh, it was painful, and it kind of makes me think that, I know this sounds silly, because I've not experienced it, and everyone who's already been in labour is going to laugh at me right now, but it literally felt like like a contraction in my back. But it probably isn't. It's probably going to be so much worse than that. But never mind. Positive thinking. I'm going to leave it there, but thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Emma, can you see the dog? And yes, I'll be back soon with another